high blood sugar responds very, very well to lean proteins and vegetables that grow above the ground, except for peas and corn, because they're high starch. And those high starches convert to sugar. So you want to do, over easy eggs are good, cheeses that crumble, turkey, fish, organic chicken. I do not advocate that people eat farm-raised fish. Farm-raised fish are fed a lot of grains, and there is so much GMO in the feed for all animals. And even now with all of this going on, there's, multi-million-dollar farms that are raising fish, and they're farm-raised. That's the farm-raised fish. And they are being fed genetically modified grains. So when you do eat fish, you want to consume fish that is wild caught. Vegetables that grow above the ground. You just really take a look at the lineup of vegetables that we have, and there are plenty of vegetables that grow above the ground that need to be consumed. Fruit, just very, very small amount of fruit. Kiwi is not as high in sugar as an apple. It's not as high in sugar as like pineapple. So kiwis are good. Berries, cherries, strawberries. Those are in small amounts. Those are fruits that can be consumed, and it's best to consume those with with lunch or supper. I would not start out breakfast if you're dealing with diabetes. I would not start out breakfast with fruit or grains. What they do is it kind of sets the tone for the day with your metabolism. If you start out with having grains and fruits for breakfast, what happens is your pancreas, by consuming those foods that convert to sugar and are sugar, requires the pancreas to release insulin. You don't want that insulin spill with the first meal of the day. So reserve adding fruit into the diet in a small amount with maybe lunch or maybe a mid-afternoon snack. And then supper then should be lean meat and vegetables. Lunch can be a salad. Salad, fish, chicken, soups. And so there's also, there's herbs that help with keeping the blood sugar into balance. And probably one of the one mineral that is most important for balancing blood sugar in the body is chromium. Now, if you're dealing with low blood sugar, you don't really want to take too much chromium. I don't really use chromium with someone that has a low blood sugar problem, because it can tend to bring the glucose level lower. But if you're dealing with high blood sugar levels, chromium is a trace mineral that needs to be in your diet. Kidney disease. Kidney disease, we run into this with blood pressure problems. The kidneys work with the heart. Oriental medicine, Chinese medicine, the kidneys, that's your qi, that's your energy. And we see so much fatigue, just so much fatigue nowadays. But we we look at the diet, and we can't run this only vehicle we were given on the types of foods that have become commonplace in our country. So, kidney disease is is pretty high up there, and there's no reason for people to be losing their life over kidney disease. You need to get that blood pressure under control, feed and nourish the kidneys, and we'll go through some specific supplements for that as well. Influenza and pneumonias. Influenza, we hear all about in the fall and the winter time about the flu shot. And we find out that last winter, the flu shot that was being so promoted about everybody getting their flu shot, there was 10,000 times over the limit of mercury in those flu shots. Mercury is a neurotoxin. Aluminum, they're putting aluminum into immunizations. So the flu shot, really, anybody who took it, it really was not a good thing to do. And, of course, that was some European labs, of course, that, picked that apart and tested it. It didn't come from the United States labs. This is something that was tested in another country and found that flu shot it had all this excess mercury in it. Suicide, again, we need to take a look at the diet. We need to take a look at what we're eating. Is that food delivering the nutrition? Is that food going to keep feeding your glandular system? Are you in balance? If you're out of balance, if you're chemically out of balance, we have more problems with depression. And depression leads to suicide. That doesn't mean that every person who is depressed is suicidal. They could be at, one or more times with dealing with that. But we really have to look at what we're consuming. And it is true that we are what we assimilate. A lot of people say, oh, you are what you eat. Well, you know what, that too, but you are what you assimilate. And so the food enzymes, ginger, papaya, things like that aid digestion so that you assimilate more nutrients out of your food so that nutrition is being carried off throughout the bloodstream and carried everywhere that it needs to be and delivers the nutrients that are needed for the system to have the tools that it needs to overcome what you're dealing with. Septicemia, sepsis, toxic blood, the toxins in the bowel. We have 10 to 12 pints of blood in the average adult, and we have 45 pints of lymphatic fluid. So when we take in these things, these agricultural chemicals, if we're eating foods that have been crop dusted, that are not certified organic, look at what the herbicides and fungicides and the just the chlorides and the chloramine, the trihalomethane gases, the THMs, what these do to the bloodstream. Those then are processed through the liver and they're deposited in the bowel. If the bowel is not eliminating, you're holding on to those poisons in the elimination system. And with all of those toxins held into the elimination system and having to be passed through the liver, it's not surprising at all that number 12 is liver disease. Milk thistle is really one of the best herbs that can be used to protect the copper cells of the liver. It's antioxidant. It helps to protect the liver. I talked one time with a transplant doctor, and he had commented to me that any patient seen at their particular transplant center must be on milk thistle, because you don't know when you're going to be able to get that liver. And you need to do things to keep the liver functioning as long as possible. Dandelion. Dandelion is another herb that is very gentle and very balancing for the liver. Hypertension, cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper regulates blood pressure. If hypertension can be from stress, or hypertension can be from too high of a cholesterol level. If you have hypertension from high cholesterol, then you need to add into your diet some lecithin or some krill oil. Work on bringing down that cholesterol level. If it's hypertension, you need to get some B-complex into your diet. You may need to add the herb skullcap or add the herb valerian root. You need to calm down. You need to be able to handle the stress or eliminate as much stress as you can from your life, because that leads to stress-related hypertension, the blood pressure problems. Parkinson's disease, along with the Alzheimer's, along with dementia. These are neurological problems that develop over the years with a lack of nutrition, a lack of, too many toxins, neurotoxins. The brain is, that's the computer system for the central nervous system. If you're taking in things into your body that are neurotoxins, they settle off in the central nervous system and into the brain. So I want to talk about, here with the heart, I want to go back with this heart disease and kind of go through a few things. CoQ10. I touched on that last week, but CoQ10 is found everywhere in the body, and it is necessary for healthy enzyme functions which affect the chemical changes within the cell. CoQ10 is vital for cellular energy production. It manufactures ADP, which produces energy in the cells. And since the body is unable to convert all the foods eaten into energy, any excess is stored as fat. CoQ10 encourages greater energy production by assisting enzymes in releasing energy into each cell, thus reducing the stored fat. Mackerel and salmon, sardines, provide the greatest amount of CoQ10. Peanuts and spinach are also very, very good. What you got there? Ooh, that smells good. That smells very good. Yeah. Some healing oil? Yeah, all right. They're making ointments upstairs. Deep massage oil. Oh, yeah. Okay. That stuff smells good. All right. That's okay. All right. We're going to go on here to some L-carnitine. And this is an amino acid that's utilized by the body for proper energy and fat metabolism. Carnitine absorbs molecules of fatty acids into the mitochondria of the cell to be converted into energy for the body, especially for the muscles, which includes the heart. An article back in the New England Journal of Medicine confirmed the need for sufficient carnitine levels to ensure healthy energy and fat metabolism, which in turn can help reduce the risk of heart disease. It also improves athletic ability. With 95% of the body's with 90% of the body's storage of carnitine